Hello everyone, this is Vivek Raja, AWS Machine Learning Hero and organizer of AWS User Group Madurai. I welcome you all to today's lovely Saturday evening. Thanks for everyone for joining in on a weekend evening to learn something together. So, in today's session we have Rohit. So Rohit is an amazing superstar of DevOps. So Rohit is now working as a developer advocate at Solo.ai, and he's organizer at AWS User Group Mumbai, and he's an AWS community builder as well. So, hi Rohit, thanks for joining in today.
Yeah, hello, Vijay, Vivek. So sorry for that Vijay kind of thing. So thing is my screen visible?
Yeah, I'm adding it right now. Yes,
Oh,
yes, the stage
okay,
is yours,
sure.
Rohit. Yes.
Okay, so welcome everyone. So we will talk about myself. So for now, so what I'm one of the AWS community builder and also the AWS UG leader for the Mumbai, like Vivek from the Madurai. So today, why we are here to like talk about the open source and how you can find the various opportunities in the open source, and if you want to contribute, so which is the coolest project nowadays, where like you can start from early and you will get the highest recognitions one can get during the open source contributions. So that's why I'm here. So we will talk about what is sidecarless. So sidecarless, this term sidecar, have you heard this sidecar? It's like I'm confused. What is sidecar or something? So this is not like you can comment or something, but thing is we will discuss like what is a sidecar. So if you have watched, I think everyone is familiar with. Means like our UG people are like from India only, so everyone has seen that Munawai MBBS movie, right? So similar to that, there is a sidecar. Like circuit sits in the sidecar, and our Munawai drives that bike. So that sidecar is like attached every time. So that looks cool. That doesn't look that much cool, right? So that is not a point. We don't have to look cool or something. But when it comes to the Kubernetes world or cloud world or DevOps world, that sidecar is like one of the, I would suggest, like it is better to don't have than why to attach it, because it creates unnecessary circumstances and problems, and also increases your cost to buy that sidecar, right? So if you can ride the bike, enjoy directly, then why to buy the sidecar, right? So that's why we are today here. Like we will remove this sidecar, and so how to means like work on a service mesh which is without sidecar. So that is known as the ambient mesh. But what is ambient mesh and how it is in the history? So we will talk about it. And coolest part is like, as you know, like everyone here is from the AWS cloud background. You have the idea of the about the AWS cloud. If you don't have idea, I will like let you know like what is the EKS kind of a thing. So EKS is like Elastic Kubernetes Service. It has different names. It is changing month like yearly. So currently, I guess it is Elastic Kubernetes Services. But yeah, I talk like EKS only. So what happens? It is Kubernetes service, but provided by AWS. What it does, you can connect any tool you want, any open source tool you can integrate whichever you want. Then you can integrate it easily with the EKS. It is really simplified. You have the like support from the AWS also. So yeah, let's discuss. So we will go with my introduction. So yeah, who am I? I'm little of otaku. So another thing is I'm developer advocate at Solo.io. So what Solo.io does? It is just one of the startup big firm. Startup big firm made company you can talk about. But thing is, it is like we are at Solo.io is the leaders in the Istio service mesh, and we have recently got the award for the best Kubernetes startup in entire world. So this is like one of the company you should be aware of if you are into the open source of the Kubernetes and Istio. Another thing is like I am founder of various communities. One of them is a keep up. If you know, like there is one of the community which was very famous around now. Not a famous, I will not talk about famous or kind of the, but yeah, if you were searching the jobs and internships and training opportunities, there was one community named as the trainings and internships. So that was founded by me, and I recently renamed it to the Keep Up. So we have now logos and everything, and it is everything is in place. So that is one of the. So I share the resources, training opportunities, and various things in the Keep Up. And open source free. It is everything is free there. So open source kind of things are there. So another community is a DevOps community, which is focused for the DevOps people only, where you can share the DevOps resources, you can get the free resources, you can get your doubts solved from the experts in the industry like Google, Amazon, VMware, various big firms, companies, or industrial leaders like in the DevOps things like Cisco and VMware. There are many companies, VM and all. So everyone is there who will solve your doubts, ask your doubts, and yeah. So we have like a repository for the various open source resources. So whichever tools are there, you can get easily. You can see various resources available on that repository, and you can contribute. So that's why we are today here, right? This is Hacktoberfest. So open source is like you can contribute to any repositories. So you can find this and you can contribute if you have any resources which you should think like everyone should be aware of. Another thing is developer relations community is there. So this community is focused on the developer relations person. Like if you are someone who is enthusiast in the developer advocacy and who is building communities and talk in the conferences kind of a thing. So there are experts who will guide on this thing. So there are various handles given for me like Twitter and LinkedIn. Go check it out. Like if I share good resources, then you can follow not follow me or something, but whenever you have doubts, ping me. It will be I will really feel glad to answer your questions. Another thing is there is portfolio where you can check my previous resource, it's like sessions, resources shared, and everything on this portfolio. And yeah, I talk about the open source, DevOps, MLOps, cloud, AWS. So yeah, find it there. So yeah, so if we are going to the sidecar less service mesh, but we should have some idea about the service mesh or Kubernetes world, right? If you don't have any idea about that, then it is like waste of your time. Like I'm telling anything and you are not getting anything. So service mesh is something. It is like there are various services, right? So when you connect these services, it was really hard to do that networking between them. It was like if you want to send the traffic or something, then it was really problematic when then two services were connected. So that's why what happened. We needed something which will be uh, there should be something which will connect you to the code which is in your it's like platform or in whatever you are building application or application code or website code or something. But that code is there, but if you want you have written the code, but you want to add some functionalities to in the future when it's deployed of kind of thing. You want to add the services sorry, add the resources to it, depending on your customers, your clients. You want to add in simple words, it is like you want to add the business logic to it. So if you want to add this, then it was like problematic, like it was jumbled up and you can't add this resources directly. And so that's why it was really hard to connect with the distributed services. So that's why to solve this, there was service mesh introduced. And if you know the microservices kind of stuff, then it will be easier for you. Otherwise, go with the flow what I tell and you will get an understanding of everything. So what did service mesh? Then it directly create the parallel between the operational code and business logic. So you can add resources anytime if you want. So let the business logic handle everything, and you create your code. So it made simple of a kind of a thing to do the to work in the teams, and whenever you want to do the service work and all, then it was easier. If you want to add some new code into the application, or you want to add some resources into the application, so it was really easy now using the service mesh. So there was simple service mesh platform goals we will talk in detail here. So why there is Istio? So Istio is one of like Istio is a service mesh which is kind of most familiar with everyone, and it is everywhere famous kind of stick. Why? Because recently Istio, like I guess last 2 3 weeks back, Istio got introduced into the CNCF, Cloud Native Community Foundation. So what is CNCF? If you know, so it is the foundation where every cloud native projects are published. So Istio is added as an incubator project recently. So it is the best time to get contributions, your contribution into the Istio, because it is getting the fame. And if your name is getting reflected, then I guess you can easily find the remote jobs kind of stuff, which is kind of famous and everyone wants to get it. So yeah, we will talk about that also. But yeah, so what are the platform goals? Which is application level routing. So what happens in the application level routing? If you know, in the OSI model, there are various layers, right? So layer one, layer two, layer three, which is I guess layer there is some trans application level, your level 7. Then there's the transport level, which is your layer 4. So we will talk about only L4 and L7 today. So why they are important? So here it is. So application level is like somewhere it is needed whenever you have to route your traffic, your networking in your applications. You have to do the connections. So everything is done within the like to connect between the application is like send something whenever you need the L7 policies. So that time it is like you need these things like you can do the traffic routing, you can do the traffic redirection, you can do the filtering of your application level. So it is like if you have two services, you are sending some packets or something, then it will filter out a message if you want, and if you, it will route to some another like connection which you want, and it will provide some what we say, it will provide you some security kind of a stuff if you want, otherwise no. Another thing is if you want some packet is there and you want it to be changed into something, or if you want it to be highly influencing or kind of stuff. So yeah, these things are done by this so that was the platform goals here for the application level. Other thing is observability. So you have created your applications. So there is some service mesh and everything is there. But if you want you want to like it is deployed, right? Your application is deployed. But if you want to capture whatever is happening there, like there is traffic direction going on, but if you want to capture some of the packets, so yeah, you need some observability, right? So that is one of the goal. Another thing is there is various logs are there, right? Whenever you have so monitoring is everything is just about the logs. So there is logs, you want to check the logs, you want to find some errors, works or something. You want to get some ports 401, 402, 200, that ports like TCP and so on. So if you want to get these things, you need some logs, right? So yeah, you can do it here, and you can easily integrate everything with like to get the observability to like your tools like Prometheus, Grafana, Kiali, everything. So generally, service meshes are generally using the Kiali for the observability. So it is nice to see the web easier, like it shows packet distribution to nicely, and you can visualize everything. So that's why you can choose this observability integration easily with our Istio service mesh. Why I'm saying our, because it is just a community. So if you are contributing into it, then you can also say like you are the part of this community. So resiliency, as you know, like if you want to uh, don't lose your things in your service message, so everything is done here. So it is like you can enable the highly availability also. So things are there. Another thing is zero trust security. So whenever you're sending the packets to one services to another, so there is like mutual TLS connection. So you will get some certificates whenever there is a packets are going. And also, sorry for that, there is like between your services, microservices, your connection is secured, and there is some security assigned to it, so don't worry about it. So everything you can get through these platform goals with which was with our service mesh. But how can you get? So that's why we are. So j- to talk about how our current Istio works today. So there are data plane. So your Istio is nothing but just a data plane which has like service and their envoy proxy. So this envoy proxy you are seeing, like, so that is called as a sidecar. So as you see, like every service is attached with some of the like one of the envoy proxy, every service, and that's what is known as a data plan. So this is your sidecar of the application. So and every policy you want to attach to your services, so it will go to directly to the envoy proxy, not to the service. So if service want anything, you it have to go through the envoy proxy only. And envoy proxy and the istio control plane will contact directly to the envoy proxy whenever everything is needed. Just like if it needs some L4 or L7 traffic to go through, it will call to the sidecar proxy, and it will get the metrics to it if you it want to observe the things on the Prometheus, Grafana, Kiali, ELK or something. So yes, so whatever names I'm taking, they are open source products, projects. Go on and you can think to contribute on them also. So once you get the metrics, you can easily visualize it on the observability. Things are like how Isto works today, that what we are talking about. So control plane keeps a track of service mesh, as I told, like it will only uh, get the L4, L7 proxy policies from them. And also, as I'm talking about the L7, L4, then you will surely get the certificates. So once you get the certificates, you are getting like, yeah, it is secure. So thing is, you are also getting the metrics and stuff. So another thing is control plane is the one who deploys the proxies, filters, policies, everything to your services. Control plane is separate from proxy data plane. So that is one of the issue. Not a big issue, but thing is, it is uh, in it is hard to break your services security. But yeah, it is possible. Like if someone wants to break, then it is possible. So that's how our sidecar model is today. Like if there is some resource in your application, then it is your services, and there is sidecar, which is your envoy proxy as there. So if application wants to talk to the application file, then there is huge things to do. So that's what we will talk about the here only. So there are some big challenges with our sidecar process. So these challenges are like overhead cost, operational complexity, performance. So we will talk about them in depth. But to give you some idea, so like what is overhead cost? As you think, like whenever you have to contact to the service, it is to have to go through the envoy proxy, and for every services there is envoy proxies attached. So it is general, it is kind of a thing. Like if there are like hundreds of services, then there is 100 of envoy proxy. Operational complexity, yes, it is tough. Like it is jumbled up. Like there is a control plane, then there is a proxy, then there is a service, and when it contact to one job of application in the service A, then to the service D's application B of the uh, annual proxy or kind of thing. So it is really tough, right? It is complex structure. So it also reduces performance in some ways. Not reduces, but there is a way to increase the performance. So how that we will talk about this thing. So this is sample info book info page deployment I have done. So what happens as you see, like whenever there is any application is deployed in the service mesh, history service mesh, there is two pods are getting deployed, so that every product page details and everything has a two slash two. So as you see that this book info is like one of the sample. So two slash two slash two is there. So this two one and two is your second is your sidecar, which is your Android proxy. So it is just reducing, it is increasing your time, and it is increasing your cost also. So there are some challenges with our sidecar model. We will talk about it. So as I told, like there is operational complexity. So as you see, like there is a resource shown in the application one, in the node one. So as you see, like it is really deep because when you want any resources to attach to the application, so it has to go to the NY proxy. So it is tough. So as I have shown here, like there's this Toy Story guy saying like challenges everywhere. So there is second challenge, which is application mesh aware. I don't know why I have put on this name, application mesh aware, but it is nothing like as I told, like if you want to contact to the job one of the application one to the doing the connection with various jobs in the application 9 or something, then it is really tough kind of a thing. So Mesh is not aware of whatever it is inside happening in the in sometimes happening inside. So why? Because HTO control plane is outside of the structure, right? Services and the sidecar is like data plane, and your control plane is outside of them. Another thing is it increases the latency really high. So what happens? It has to go through the application one to Envoy proxy, and then Envoy proxy to second Envoy proxy, and Envoy proxy to the application two. So in this time it is taking the 2 milliseconds. So you think like 2 milliseconds is nothing, like it is easier, right? But when you are running like thousands and ten thousands of bot, and when you are doing this thing, so it will take you like to deploy simple cluster of something. It will take like 10 to 15 minutes. So think about it, how much time it is taking to yours. That's why we need something which will reduce your time in some way. So cost, as I told, like yeah, there is various proxies attached. So cost will be increased for sure. So dollar bills are attached every time, and yeah, uh, depending on the various NY proxies to various applications, your different types of proxies are attached. So the number of proxies are like equal to the number of services. So that's why what happens, you are you are unnecessarily having the number of NY proxies and proxies attached to it. So that's why we need something to get rid of this sidecar and to make our sidecar less kind of a structure. So here it is. Your That's what I'm going to talk about. So which is to ambient mesh. So is to ambient mesh is recently launched. I guess on 7th of September. So it is one of the open source contribution to the Istio project, which defines a new sidecarless data plane. So as there was data plane previously, so new sidecarless data planes are there, which is your ambient data plane. So this ambient data plane is contributed by various people. but lead contributors are from the Solo and Google. So yeah, so we are one of the lead contributors into the same, and Google is one of them. And if you want to contribute, you can go ahead. There are various people from the IBM, AWS, and stuff. So go ahead, and it is really easy. And we are talking about the open source. So this is the time when Ambient Mesh is not yet being the production ready and not available till the February March of upcoming year. So if you contribute now, in future your name can come here, here with these companies. So yeah, it reduces the cost, it simplifies your operation, it improves your performance. How? So we will talk about the same. So first we will talk like how this SQL embed mesh works. So what happens? It is separating the it is separating the layers. It is slicing your layers. So there are two layers in the ambient mesh. One is your secure overlay layer, which is your Z tunnel layer. So what happens? It will so everything you work in your networking kind of a thing. So everything happens by the L4 policies, your transport layer. So transport layer work is done directly, like you will get the streamlined low so resource high performance with zero trust. So you don't need the you directly get the TCP routing. You get the so TCP routing is that so traffic management happens. There is security. You get the mutual TLS tunneling and authorization policies by default. You don't have to install it from outside or something. There is observability, so you can install the TCP metrics and logging. You can easily connect the Prometheus, Grafana, ELK, Kiali, everything, and it doesn't have any sidecar attached to it. And best thing about the ambient mesh, which I think, which is you don't need to have some so what happens in the previous Istio, whenever you are like restart whenever you are adding some application, whenever you are adding some application to your so there is one application is attached. So if you want to attach new application to your pods cluster, so what happens, it will restart your pods and your namespace, sorry, your cluster, it will restart your, yeah, so nodes and stuff. So here what happens, ambient mesh doesn't restart your thing. So it so in Istio there was another problem, which is like it was really hard during the start and stop time of the service meshes. So now it is like you can directly attach to it. It doesn't restart or anything. It just simply attach new data plane to it. So it is simple now. Other thing is, if you sometimes want to get L7 policies to your application, so you want to inject some, if you want to inject some policies, not policies, a fault injection kind of a thing, or you want to do some like routing and load balancing of your things. You want to do the it's like rate limiting, circuit breaking kind of a stuff in your services. So that you can do by this L7 processing layer. So it is directly separating for you. So this thing will work with the waypoint proxy, and for secure overlay layer, it is just a Z tunnel layer. So it is just one of the thing which will do everything for you, and you will not require any sidecar for it. So NY proxies directly get out of the picture. So as we see here, like without history side. So observability with Istio sidecars, which is your when you connect your uh, so one example I have taken here. So what happens in Node, there is service and there is Istio proxy. So pod is named as a pet store, and other is your Istio proxy pod. So it will directly share it scrap app, Istio environment, it's the Prometheus Grafana. So proxy will share everything. So similarly, you can see like there is a survey in Node 2, there is a two of these things pod. and which we are talking here. So it thing is everything is metrics and everything is transferred by the envelope proxy. But what happens without istio sidecar? It doesn't require the istio or proxy or something. So in nodes directly have one service named as a bar, which is pod. Another is like foo. So there is no istio service, istio or something, and they can directly scrap at matrix directly to the Prometheus. So there will be random questions, which is like, can we use this? Like there is enough data for troubleshooting. So, like HTTP proxy, we can get you troubleshooting, get your work solved and kind of stuff. So yeah, you can get here also. And another thing is EVPF, which is kind of a kind of famous nowadays. So in future you can get this connected with the EVPF. So how we will talk about the same also. So this is HTTP embed model. So L4 is attached. So you don't have any envelope proxy or something. There is only one L4 policies you can get into this Z tunnel, which will be node per one Z tunnel. You don't have like pods per one proxy or something. You have one Z tunnel which will do everything for the L4 policy, which is like traffic redirection, traffic that various things which we talked about previously, mutual TLS connections and stuff. So for the L7, that is it will be outside of the system, and you can whenever you need the L7, you can contact and directly use the L7 policies. So as we talked like previously, there was various types of envelope proxy attached to the various pods. So now HTML embed mesh reduces every pods, so that sidecars attached to it, and yeah, it is simple. I don't have to tell or like how it will reduce your cost. So previously, there was like pod per proxy. Every proxy was attached to the pod. So Blue is your proxy. So we are moving from proxy per pod architecture to a proxy per node architecture. So this proxy for entire node is your ambient mesh. Previously it was like istio sidecar data plane with one pod and one proxy attached to it. So as you see, like your operations will get simplified. So you can easily contact with the applications directly. So ztunnel will do everything for you. So there is like one of the nice blogs written by one of my friend. So you can check out. So it shows like uh, previously there was CPU required was a 3.1, 3 point like virtual CPUs were required. Now it is like 0.3 CPUs are only required and zero point 0.6 if you want L7 policies also attached to it. If you don't want, then L4 is like simplified kind of thing. So it is MB, MIB, your memory is also like only 384 is required. Previously, it was 3968. So as you think about it, is like how big is this invention? Like it is solving various use cases, and it will be really helpful for the various people. So here is the simple things shown here. So you can screenshot everything you want, and you can publish on the socials whenever you want. So yeah, these are like showing like L4 was like 1 millisecond and L7 was a 4 millisecond with mesh sidecar. But now it is like only 1 millisecond with your ambient mesh. So this is like direct connection, and it is reducing your ambient mesh with like 3 milliseconds. So whenever you are doing the calculation, like traffic reduction and everything, with using the L4 uh, in your ambient mesh, it is just a zero point 0.5 millisecond. And when you are getting the L7 proxy, L7 policies, and trying to do the advanced things like fault injection kind of a thing, so it is just 2 millisecond kind of time you will require. So you can screenshot this also. It is really useful slide. So it shows everything which we talked about till now, which is like it reduces the cost, how like proxy per node. It also provides a multi-tenant proxy. So if you want to work with your teams and do the side service mesh kind of thing, so yeah, it does the same. So lightweight proxy and implementation proxy is there. So which we talked about the same. Simplifying the operations, which is transparent to application, like it is not separated to the control plane or kind of stuff. So it will directly get whatever it is happening through our meshes. Decouple proxies from applications, yes. Then simplify adding new applications. Whenever you want to add a new application, you just directly attach to the new data plane. You don't have to restart or start from the so what happens in the istio, it was like you need to restart or something. Or if you want to do the application injection, you have to do it from the start only. So it is not there here in the ambient. You can attach it anytime, simplifying the app duplicates and all. So there is performance increase also, like L4 versus L7. So what's next? There is you can get the L4 matrix and mutual TLS connection, everything. So another thing is in future you can add the eBPF into this, and so you don't require ztunnel also. So eBPF is one of the revolutionary kernel technology. So once it is installed, then you can do various things in this technology, HTML mesh. So so we are going to do some kind of a demo, and we will use the EKS because is my one of the favorite Kubernetes services. I guess I have never used another EKS Kubernetes services like other that much, but EKS is one of the thing which I have wrote the various blocks, and I have integrated it for the application deployments blocks, and I have done the various demos on the same. So go and check it out on my website, my blogs and kind of a stuff. So EKS is like fully managed Kubernetes services and easy to integrate. So it has it, various customers. I can't mention. It's like I will lose to take all the customers, but there are various customers like Snapchat and various Amazon. So Snapchat is there. There is a Datadog cloud. It's like there are various cloud and DevOps and various companies are there which trust EKS to run their sensitive and critical applications because it is like secure, it is reliable, scalability is really easier. Another thing is that EKS is deeply integrated with services like CloudWatch, IAM, VPC. So what happens whenever you want to scale your application, so scaling groups are there. You want to add some, so if you want to add some through like security kind of stuff and you want any user to access the only thing, so IAM is there, VPC is there too. It is just VPC is nothing, just some kind of a tower which provides everything secure connection for your, so everything security you want to do, you go to that tower and do this thing. So this is everything is integrated with EKS service. So best thing is you have like higher support anytime you need. And thing is there is various documentations, and it is really nice documentation by EKS whenever you want to integrate kind of a thing. So multi-node clusters, whenever I'm creating on any Kubernetes services, I found EKS is one of the best where I can easily create the clusters. So to learn more about the HTML Ambient Mesh, these are the various resources. Go screenshot it, and if you want, you can check the blogs kind of stuff. There is a demo video also, which is like one of the means like they are founders of the HTML, I would say. So there is a TOC community. If you know in the open source, which projects are available, they have like technical community for them. So this community is the one who is like founders and lead contributors. So three of them are from like two of them are from like our solo, and one is from the previous community. So they are only created these videos and blogs. So go and check it out. So there is one workshop also, which workshop is like training and certification workshop, which will provide you this demo, which I will show you in on the EKS. So that is just labs, so it is easier. Everything is there, just copy paste, and we will learn through the everything is shown there. So let's move to the demo. So so as you see, like I have this Istio installed directly, and so how to install this stuff? So we will talk about the same. So there is this blog which I have shared in the previous. So what you can do, you can go on the Istio website, go to the blogs. So there is this new blog introduced. So go to this download from the previous version kind of thing. So when you click on the same, so there is like this is the page. So control get it and do the wget that website, and you will get this ambient mesh tar. So once you get the star file, next step is like star xpf and do your sto like whatever it is. So this is there. So you just have to enter and it will install for you. So once you have this file, go inside this sto. Let me go inside it. Hope my screen is visible to everyone. So yeah, sorry, I did some mistake, I guess. Yeah, we have the HTTL directly here, so we don't have to go to there. So we have to just do this command, which is we have. So we will first create the cluster. So what happens the in our EKS when you go to the sorry for this. So I'm just creating some simple cluster. So yeah. So I have created this cluster. What happens? You have to just create one cluster, name it as like ambient demo or something. Just AWS. Then you will choose any of the Kubernetes version. Select the roles. One minute. Give me 1 minute. I just doing login into my system. It got redirected due to my not launching from long time. Just bear me with some seconds. So yeah, it is available now. Let me share my screen again. Yeah, sure. I will increase the size also. So where were we? Uh, Let me start. Now. So you can easily create your cluster. So what happens? You have to just give the ambient whatever name you want, and then you can select roles from here. So there is this cluster role. which you can select. So your cluster role should have the that policy which is used for the assume role. So once you have the policy for the assume role, then it is just a simple kind of thing. Other thing is you have to then go to the next and create the yeah, you can attach the VPC subnet kind of a thing. Then it is just a simple. Then this is just by default. Like you can create your own VPC to make it more secure. VPC subnet. I'm just using the default one. Then you just can use this various logs to check in the future if you need some logs kind of a thing. So you can easily check here. Another thing is just give the tags and kind of stuff, and yeah, you can hit on the create. But I cluster creation requires I guess 15 to 16 minutes sometimes, so that's why I have created it from upfront. So go ahead, and like I'm using this one. So what I'm doing, I will directly connect it to my local system. So I forgot what was the command for like increasing the size, but yes, sorry for that. Just move. So what happens? Let me check. Uh, you have to just get that EKS or whatever you have done, like EKS thing, your cluster creation. Once you have that cluster, you just have to update it on your local system. So how you can do it? I would suggest directly Google. Why Google? So what happens when you Google it? You have to do like EKS uh, cluster cluster EKS cluster connection on local. So as you see, like you have to just see here, uh, yeah, this thing update config. So you have to just use this command, and this command you can use, just mention your region. So as I'm running this in the I guess app config, sorry, ap south one. So see here ap south one. So I will use the command like where it was, region as app south one, and name of the cluster which is ambient aws. So this command you will run in your local your terminal. Once you run in your terminal, then it is done. Your cluster is connected. So as your cluster is connected, just run this command like kubectl get pods, and done. You will see your pods are connected and kind of stuff. So we will do the same here also. And in the another system, you have to just run the K9s. Means like it is not required, but yeah, I'm showing here because it will show everything which I'm doing here. So it is better to visualize what you are doing. So another thing is we will launch the HTOCTL which we are using here. So it is on here, which I shown in the blog. Just use this command HTOCTL install set profile to ambient, and then everything is done for you. So I guess I have done it already, but we will check if we have done or not. So set profile ambient. Yeah, this will install the ambient profile with istio core, istio cd, everything for you. So yes. So as you see, like Istio Core is installed, Istio is installed, CNI is installed, Ingress gateways are installed, everything directly through your ambient profile. So another thing is now you have everything is there. So what actually means like what actually these things are like. So Istio Core is something which will do the service mesh stuff for you, and HTOD is like whenever you are launching something in the pods and stuff, so it will handle. Sienna is someone who will handle the traffic redirection, contact between the services, kind of a stuff. So everything is just connected to the CNI. So whatever happens, so CNI will handle everything. So if you want to master like Kubernetes kind of a thing, Kubernetes, if you want to focus your future in the more on the Kubernetes side, then CNI is something you should be aware of. So once that is done, we will check like whatever is inside our pod. So I will run this command. So as you see, like yeah, get code and Istio system. So there is this ingress gateway is there, cTunnel is there. So to visualize this only, I have used the K9s. So as you see, it is there. But what happens? You can't do various things directly through the this terminal. Means like through the command terminal. It is you have to use the verbose and all to go inside that pods and kind of stuff. But in K9 it's easy. Like you can do enter and you will see like yeah, it is running on this image. There is this running command. Yeah, there is how much time it is taking and stuff. Everything will be shown and ESC to just go back. So as you see, like there is Z-tunnel is also there in the ambient. So this Z-tunnel is something which is first it is just initialized kind of a thing for you, but it will also be like it will run some proxy for you. So it is the only thing which will do every communication between everything. So yeah, let's deploy our application, sample application for the demo. So we will deploy these applications. Book info application which we talked about previously. We have to just do the same, just install everything in here. Yeah, so I have this inside this STO. I will go inside this and I will run this command again. Yeah, so Istio Ambient and Istio directly provides YML files. So these book info YML samples are directly available to you inside these samples. So Istio provides it by default. Use it to do the demo applications. So I'm using this book info. It is readily installed for you. Another thing, we will do one kind of a demo here. So here as you see, like I have deployed the application. It's like I have used this application, but why I use this sleep and not sleep? So sleep is something which will be call agent for us to get the access to the website, but not sleep. We will do in some manner like it will not like it will fail to access to that website. So that's why we'll use not sleep. So let's move forward. We are tight on time. So we will use some booking for gateway to connect our product page. So let's add some traffic here. So so as you see, like it will be adding some traffic. Let's add some traffic. And to visualize this traffic, I will use here some agent which is very famous to everyone. Is turn Z tunnel, and I am using the same namespace Istio system. I don't know if it is visible to you. Let me see what is the command for like increasing the terminal size. Sorry for that. One minute. Yeah, it is just. So I was right. I was just getting scared of this thing. I thought I'm messing it up. So I guess it is visible to you, right? So let me increase more size. So once you do the clear, so we will use this command. So we will use the same namespace istio system, and yeah, it will show you the logs. So this logs is something which is showing to the Z tunnel. So as you see, like there is inbound and inbound listener is there, virtual inbound is there. There is a internal, it is capturing something. So once I provide here some traffic, so Z tunnel will show us the outbound. So no waypoint proxy is attached. So waypoint proxy is something for the L7 thing, but for the L4, we see here there is some internal outbound is going on. So this is nothing but your transactions traffic going on from the sleep and not sleep. So let's see what happens in the future. So now what we will do, we will use your adding your application to the ambient mesh. So in future when you want to add your application to the history or service mesh, what happens, it have to restart your application. You can't add your application directly. So here now you just have to add one namespace. Default is this new data plane mode name as ambient, and I guess I missed. Yeah. So yeah, yeah, it is added. And so what happens? You can directly see here. So go back. So yeah, see here details, sleep, not sleep, work page, reviews, kind of a thing. Everything is there, and your Z tunnel is also there. So our next step will be just we have to do the some traffic kind of a thing. So our pods are added to the ambient. So we will send some traffic again. So as you see, churn is like running again and again. So it will show us like, yeah, outbound capture is listened, and it will show us like, yeah, so there is no waypoint proxy, and yeah, there is some tunnel. So this is something. So these tunnels and everything is there, which is you can screenshot it and you can check it. So this thing is something which is doing everything for you. So whenever you want to send the traffic kind of a thing, so it is doing everything from our Z tunnel. So as this is the thing, like whatever happening there, if you are not familiar with logs kind of thing, so this diagram will show you like sleep. So this is like it will do the mutual TLS connection between Z tunnel to the product page, like various services it will do directly, and there will be some HTOD and mutual TLS connection, so secure connection between everything. So yeah, there is secure overlay which we talked about the same. So if you want to check if there is really mutual TLS connection going or not, so you just have to run this command and it will show the certificate for you. So these are here. It is important thing here. It is named as a critical signature. So yeah, there is some signature attached to it and it is certificate attached to it. So yeah, it is secure connection going on. And then to do the L4 authorization policies, you have to run this directly given YAML file. So you can copy it also. Confirm the above works directly. So what is it is actually, so what happens here? So oh sorry, I copied entire thing. Yeah. So what happens? See here, these principles. I guess it is visible to you. So these principles I have sent here. So what happens? Flip and local ingress gateway. So it is going to some ingress gateway, right? So that website, to where you can access the website. So to access that website, only Slip can access, not Slip can't access. So that's why we will do here this. No, so only Slip can access, not Slip can't access. So we will see that here. So see here. So there is some XDS proxy connected to the upstream, and not Slip is uh, yeah. So whenever you are sending the traffic here, it is running for us. Meanwhile, we saw the ingress gateway kind of stuff. So yes, yeah. So here we can see now, like, yeah, node internal outbound is working, and yes, it is going through that sleep. So sleep is able to access and not sleep is failing. So for that, there is this product page and kind of a thing. So we will run simply. So to show the L7, we would have done, but we don't have that much time. But yes, L4 policy is still the thing we have done already, and we can see the logs and that kind of stuff. To see this demo in detail, you can go to that workshop which I have told in the blog. So go ahead and you can find the same on the my slides. So it is just one click away. Click on this, and whatever I'm showing here, it is available on this workshop. So fault injection, traffic shifting, everything you can do. So yeah, thank you for the same, and hope you enjoyed this session. So let me know if you want to explore the more. So Sankara has some questions. So decoupling proxy from the application and having node level proxy is awesome. While is it possible to configure this only for a particular node, whereas other nodes will have application level proxy? Yeah, as I told, this is just a new addition to the Istio sidecar proxy, Istio, previous Istio. So it is just a new data plane added. So whenever you want to use the previous sidecar, you can previous sidecar model, which is Istio. So you can use that. So there is sidecar is no going nowhere. It is just a sidecar. Let's introduce new one. So yeah, you can use both at the once. So it is just cool thing, right? Thank you for that question. It was awesome question. If service A needs to call service B NY proxy, is that direct call to the B's NY proxy or through the control plane? Actually, whatever traffic redirection is happening, it goes to the it's like metrics and kind of thing goes to your proxy, so your control plane only. So it is not like it will go to the service A to service B directly. There is your HTTP control plane for the shore, like your service mesh is there. So that's why we need someone to like do everything just for you. So and what happened here is like, but thing is when it is doing this connection, it sometimes it is really breakable. So that's why we need like someone to get highly secure mutual TLS kind of connection, and that's what we saw in just a demo, right? So yeah. Any questions? You can ask me whatever you want. So let me see if any questions are there. So yeah, thanks, Sankara. I guess you understood the question. So it is. I'm glad. uh, there is AWS user group India people also. So they loved about the Munaba MBBS sidecar. Nice. It was just a fun part to add about the sidecar kind of. Anyone has any questions, you can ask and let me know if you want to explore this more. I will provide the nice resources to learn.
Yeah, Rohit, am I audible?
Yeah, yeah, you are audible.
Yeah, you're great. Okay, so yes, so for any more questions, you can directly ping Rohit in his Twitter handle. His handle can be found in the description of the video, or if you have any more sessions that you want to connect to, please drop into our Slack channel, which you can find it as bit.ly/join AWS MDU. So hope you had an amazing time in the weekend evening to learn something about DevOps, and a wonderful explanation by Rohit as well. Thanks for spending your time with us in this weekend evening, and hope you to host you soon in other sessions, as well as to see other members joining in for future. Thanks, Rohit. See you again.
Thank you.